All right, number 8. This is that problem mentioned in the overview. When you have two square roots, you want to isolate them because the problem can get pretty long if you don't. So we're going to do square root of 3x minus 8 plus square root of 2x plus 1 plus 1 equals 0. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move two terms over and leave one square root here. So I'm going to subtract this and subtract 1. It's going to be equal to a negative square root 2x plus 1 and then the minus 1 on the outside. All right, and then from this point, I'm going to square both sides. When you square square root, it cancels out, so that leaves us with 3x minus 8. Over here, you actually have to FOIL. So we're going to do that shortcut again. You're going to square the first term, so negative times the negative will be positive. When you square square root, it gets rid of it. So you're going to end up with 2x plus 1. That's squaring the first term. All right, multiply these two terms together. So negative 1 times this is just going to get rid of the negative. Negative times the negative is a positive. So I just have a positive square root of 2x plus 1. But you double it because you're going to have two of those terms. So it's going to be plus 2 times the square root 2x plus 1. And then you square the last term. So we just get a plus 1. That's the shortcut. Now we're going to move everything over and leave the square root here. So I'm going to subtract 2. And then this 1 plus 1 is 2. So I'm just going to subtract 2 from the other side. So minus 2 and then minus 2x. So the 1 and the 1, that takes care of that 2. That's where the 2 came from, the 2 minus 1s. Minus 2x right there. This is going to leave us with x minus 10 equals 2 times the square root of 2x plus 1. All right, and then from here, we're going to square both sides again. With that number out front, it doesn't hurt. We can leave it there. So when I square this side again, I have to FOIL. So I'll get x squared. Multiply, get negative 10x, double it, negative 20x. Square the last, plus 100. Equals, when you square 2, you get 4. And when you square a square root, it gets rid of it. So this gives us 2x plus 1 in parentheses. All right, we're going to distribute here. So we still have x squared minus 20x plus 100 equals 8x plus 4. All right, we're going to subtract 8x, subtract 4 from both sides. Goes to 0, and then that brings down x squared minus 28x plus 96. Okay, so now we're going to see if this will factor. We're going to look for the factors of 96 that when you add, you get 28. And 12, that'd be 98. Let me break this down to primes, it'd be easier for me to do it that way. 2 and 48. That'd be 3 and 3 goes into 4 once, 18, 3 and 16, and then 2 and 8, 2 and 4, 2 and 2. Okay, So prime factors would be 1 and 96, and then if I do the 2 and 48, and then 3, I have to multiply all this back together. 2, 4, 8, 16. 16 times 2 is 32. And then 4, we can do 4 times 2, 4, 8, 24. So 4 and 24, that's what we need right there. 4 plus 24 will give you 96. I'm sorry, 4 plus 24 will give you 28. And they multiply to give you 96. Okay, so this will factor. I'm going to put an X in both, and then a 4 and a 24. And then bigger sign is negative, and then they're both the same. So set them equal to 0, you get X equals 4 and X equals 24. But you do need to check to see if both these answers work. Okay, so 4 and 24, we're going to come over here and see if I plug a 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Let me just write it all out, and then we'll just simplify it. Three times 4 minus 8, and then get the plus. 2 times 4 plus 1, and then we get the plus 1 equals 0. All right, that's 12 minus 8 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. And then over here, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, and then the square root of 9 is 3. So I got 2 plus 3 plus 1 equals 0, and that gives us 6, which is not equal to 0. So it looks like 4 will not work. All right, and then we're also going to do it with 24. So square root of 3 times 24 minus 8. Don't look like this one will work either. Square root of 22 times 24 plus 1 equals 0. Again, probably not working because we're only considering positive. Like if we did the negative square root to make it work out, it'd probably work. If we made this one negative and that one positive, that'll give us 0. 3 times 24 is 72. Minus 8, 72 minus 8 will give us 64. Square root of 64 is 8. And then 24 gives us 48, plus 1 is 49. Square root of 49 is 7. And then plus 1. So if this was a negative 8 and we made that positive 7, that would give us 0, but again, we only considered a positive. So in this case, we get 2 solutions, neither of which work.